Hey girl, hey! Do you remember what Bagelfuls taste like? I've had a hankering for these for the past couple of days. They just came out the oven. She's perfect. Let me show you how to make them. We're starting out with 4 ounces of plain cream cheese. This should be room temperature. Is mine? No. If yours is not room temperature either, let it sit out for about 30 minutes, but I forgot. We're gonna freeze it anyway, so it's fine. To my cream cheese, I'm just going to add 1 teaspoon of powdered sugar. I just feel like Bagelfuls were like not plain cream cheese because they were a little bit lighter, a little bit fluffier. They had sweetness to it. Like if you know what cream cheese tastes like, it just has a tartness to it. I didn't feel like just using plain cream cheese. I'm also gonna add a half a teaspoon of heavy cream. This is just to get a better consistency because I also feel like Bagelful consistency, it was different. It just, she has something special. Me and a Bagelful, we just had a thing, and like I hope you understand. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a good mix just to fully incorporate it. If you want to pull out the hand mixer, go right ahead, but I don't feel like it right now. My cream cheese filling is completely mixed, so I'm going to go ahead and grab a plastic bag. If you have a piping bag, go right ahead, but I wasn't going to use my piping bags on this, sir. No. And you just want to make sure that you're pressing everything into the corner of the bag, and we're going to bag this mixture up. That tastes exactly like the inside of a Bagelful. It's still like very creamy, very tart, but like that little hint of sweetness, that's what a Bagelful tasted like. And I'm just gonna make sure that I'm pressing my entire mixture down to one singular corner. I'm gonna use my bench scraper, but it's not completely necessary. You can also use the back of a knife or your hand to just press it all the way down to this little corner, right? And now we have a makeshift piping bag. I'm going ahead and grabbing this sheet that I prepared. I just have some parchment paper on it. If your parchment paper is acting funny, go ahead and ball it up. And then we're gonna unball it, and you'll have a lot more control over the parchment, and it'll wanna stay in your pan just a little bit better. We're gonna take our baggie with our cream cheese mixture, and we're gonna cut this little tip off. You probably wanna cut up pretty far because it is gonna be thick. I'm gonna make lines of cream cheese about 3.5 to 4 inches long. So I actually end up getting 7 little cream cheese turds out of my proportions. If they're ugly, don't worry about it. It's going to be on the inside. And I'm going to go ahead and pop these into the freezer while I make the rest of my dough. For my dough, we're going to start by blooming the yeast. We're going to start with 3/4 cup of water. I'm going to go ahead and warm this. Because I'm starting from ice cold, I'm going to microwave this for about 45 seconds. If you're starting with room temperature water, you're going to want to microwave it for about 30 to 40 seconds. You want your water to be warm to the touch, but not boiling hot because you can kill your yeast that way. It's nice and warm to the touch. I'm only going to add a little bit of sugar, just a half teaspoon, and that's just to go in and feed our yeast. I'm going to be using active dry yeast. This is the Red Star brand. I like active dry yeast because when I go in and bloom it, I can tell if it's alive or not, so I don't go through my whole process and then my yeast be dead. It doesn't proof all the things. I'm gonna go ahead and set this aside in a warm spot. I like to set it on top of my stove, or I'll set it inside of my stove while it's completely off, just because it's usually a warmer part of my kitchen. And I'm gonna wait for this to get nice and foamy. While my yeast is proofing, I'm gonna go in and sift in 2 1/4 cup of bread flour. You can use AP flour. I just like bread flour anytime I'm working with yeast because it's more glutinous and it just gives me a nicer, fluffier bread. But I promise AP flour will do it. And I'm just sifting this in to get rid of all the clumps in my flour. Sifting is not necessary, but it just does make for a better baking experience and a better final chew on your product. To my flour, I'm also going to add a generous pinch of salt. This is just going to balance out our dough. You always want to add your salt to your flour and never to your yeast because you can kill your yeast that way. And then finally, just 1/2 tablespoon of brown sugar. Bagels usually use like malt barley syrup, but don't nobody got that shit in their house. I don't, at least. So you can use brown sugar, you can use white sugar. It'll work just as fine. But yeah, if you have barley malt syrup, you might be a better baker than me because I don't got that shit. My yeast is nice and foamy. You can tell by this froth on top that my yeast is nice and alive. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to the rest of my ingredients. And I'm just going to go ahead and pop this on the KitchenAid mixer. I'm using my dough hook and I'm going to let it knead for about 5 to 10 minutes. You can 1000% do this by hand. I won't though. So my dough is all done. I did go ahead and add about another tablespoon of warm water just because my dough didn't have enough give to it. Bagels are supposed to be like a little bit tougher of a dough, but like mine was super shaggy. It wasn't coming together. So a little bit of warm water. She's nice and ready to go. I'm gonna leave this in a warm spot to go ahead and proof for about an hour and a half. I have a little hot plate that I like to use for my proofing process just because it's warm, it's super consistent. And so I am going to do this. Normally I would leave it in this bowl and I would just put some oil down and put it in a covered bowl. But I'm gonna put it on some parchment and still cover it with some plastic wrap very, very loosely so it can proof, because I need this bowl because Nugget asked me to make pizza for dinner. So I need to make some pizza crust. My dough has had time to proof. I left it for about an hour. She's nice and doubled in size. She's beautiful. I'm gonna take my dough ball on a clean, dried surface. I forgot to punch it on camera. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna make her into a nice, beautiful ball. If you want to, you can pull out the kitchen scale. I'm not in the mood for that today, so I won't. And I'm just gonna go ahead and round these out. If your bagel dough is a little tough, then give it another like 10 minutes to sit and rest. Roll it into a very soft rectangle. You can use a regular glass, you can use a wine bottle. And I'm just gonna roll this out a little bit. It's about 7 inches by 3. You just want it to be big enough to comfortably fit your little cream cheese turds that we made earlier. These are nice and frozen by the time our bagel had a chance to set. So I'm gonna pop one right in the middle. And I'm just going to fold this once on the small side, and then I'm gonna go in and fold the long sides. And I'm gonna make sure I give these a really good pinch. You wanna make sure they're sealed well because your cream cheese will come out if it's not. And here is our first bagelful. I'm gonna repeat these steps with the rest of my dough balls and I'll see you back in a second. We have all of our filled bagelfuls. I'm gonna let these set aside while we get our water ready. Normal bagels are usually made with barley malt syrup, but I don't own that. I'm probably never gonna buy it because the fuck am I using it for? If you have it, use it. But the alternative for everyone else, you want about 3 quarts of boiling water, 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. While we're working on this, also make sure you go ahead and preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. To the water and sugar, we're also gonna add 1 teaspoon of baking soda, very specifically baking soda. Baking soda and baking powder are completely different, so try not to get them mixed up. We're going to drop them just 2 at a time so we're not overcrowding the pan. We're going to let them soak in that water for about a minute apiece. After a minute, we're just gonna go ahead and pull them out the water. Make sure that your seam side is down. And I just have a pan that I prepped here with some parchment paper and a little bit of Baker's Joy. If you're gonna put anything on top of your bagelfuls, jalapeno cheddar or an Asiago version of this, you're going to want to add them as soon as they come out of the water. And you're gonna go ahead and repeat that step until all of your bagels are done, just 2 at a time. Here's what they look like right now before I pop them in the oven. I don't really want to put anything on top of them, so I didn't, but I feel like these would be really good with brown sugar. And there's also a variant that had jelly in it, and I think I'll try that at a later date. Let's put these in the oven. The oven's already ready. I'm going to leave these in there for maybe 10-15 minutes, and then also give them a flip so that they cook on the other side for 2 minutes, just so they're nice and pretty. Bagelfuls weren't super brown, so I don't want them to be super golden brown, but I do want my dough to be completely done.